Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Talking Stick Show. So I have the crew with me. We have Laura Massey. Hello, Laura.
Hi, Captain.
Aye, aye. And I'm the pirate today. And we
Hello,
have
everyone.
Amy Kruzek onto the
Yeah.
show. Hello, Amy.
Hello, everyone. Hi,
Hello.
Captain.
Hello. Aye.
Captain.
So welcome to this week's show, and we're going to be doing a live calling show. So soon, Joel will be placing the link into the chat for you to come on and have a reading with all of us. So firstly, we're just going to go over a few things. Laura, do you want to let people know about what's happening with Combined?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Good to be here again. Nice to see you again, Dale and Amy.
Yes.
So somebody's asking what's happened to the third musketeer. Maybe they mean Andrew. He could be on later. I think he's doing some sessions, but he might be around later on. Yeah, Combined is now back in York the 6th to the 14th of June. This is a big tour we're doing, which is why we're actually not doing it in April. We've moved it to June because it's going to take a bit of organising this one. So we're going to start off. We're at the Mercure Fairfield Hotel, York. We've stayed there before, it's a great place. So we're starting off with 2 days of a divine feminine, a sacred feminine package, which I'm running, which will include the HIFU, the high intensity frequency ultrasound, which I spoke about before for women. And then we're going on to 4 days of the paranormal rangers. Now, we've been putting out, the paranormals themselves have been putting out a weekly show on a Wednesday. That's at 7 p.m. GMT or 2 p.m. EST. Make sure you catch that because we're getting some great viewings on their show. Their membership's increasing. We really want to promote these guys because they're amazing. They're the indigenous knowledge that they carry and the wisdom they carry and that they want to share. So they're doing a 4-day package starting on the 8th. At the hotel, 2 days in the hotel. They'll be training in a seminar type situation, recounting stories as well, no doubt. I'm sure you'll be able to have dinner with them if you're on the package or breakfast and so on. You'll be able to get to meet them. 2 days training in the hotel, 2 days out in the field. There's about $700 worth of equipment they're giving away with their tour that you can practice using. So that's the night vision goggles and so on. So you'll be able to practice that in the field with them. We're linking up with Deathly Dark Tours. Check them out on Facebook. They're amazing. And Dorian is going to take us to the most haunted places in York. And as York is meant to be one of the most haunted cities in England, that's going to be fun. And I think the second night we're spending all evening in a very haunted place. So everyone can test out their equipment and their ghost hunting and paranormal skills. Then we go on from that to 5 days of combined healing. You can book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day packages. If you've been with us before, remember you get a day free if you book one. Also, if you're on any of our bus tours, you can get a day free. So check out our website. I think Joe will probably put the link up in a minute. We're also on Andrew's website. You can also find them on my website, twofeathersmedicine.com. So, yeah, check us out or email me, laura2feathers@gmail.com, because we have now got bookings coming in because this is going to be a big tour. All the pricing, all the details is all on the bookings form on the website. So have a look, and if you can, join us because it's going to be fun. We've had 3 events so far, all have been amazing. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And so, as well, if you'd like to learn how to be an ancestral medium, I'll be running a workshop on the 31st of March. It's going to be over 4 hours from 5 p.m. UK time. So learning how to speak to your ancestors, learning how to speak to your team, and understanding what it takes to be able to hold a contact, be able to learn to be an ancestral medium. and all of the in-betweens, how to speak to the grandmother collective, the grandfather collective. So join me on this 4-hour journey. It's only £450, so it's a very low-cost workshop. So that'll be on the 31st of March to learn to become an ancestral medium. And also, I'm offering a new service at the moment called Soul Audit. So I'm offering one-to-one sessions for those who would like to have their soul audit and for me to look through all of their soul timelines and give them an audit, basically, show them what's needed in the moment for their most amount of growth. There will be ancestral connection as well, and they'll also be working in the Dreamer's Lodge of the Bear is included in the session as well. So yeah, incredible. Amy,
Yes.
is there anything else you want to add?
Yes, I'd like to add that you can get a hold of me or David Ellis. Maybe that is who the big picture's talking about, the other guy. You can get a hold of us at the UCM community, and you can join it by going to community.universalcitizenstv.com, where we have free resources, meditations, we have AI tools and software with an affiliate program with that, and building a business and website. We have business clinics each month, and David is going to start a Yoga Alliance teacher certification class coming in April. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you, Amy.
I think the big picture is talking about Matty. Matty's having some personal
Matty.
time. Yeah, he will be talking about Matty. So yeah, Matty's having some personal time off at the moment, guys. Okay. Where do you want to go from here, Dale?
Where do we go from here? So let's see. So Joel has put in the link. So if you want to come have a free reading with the Three Musketeers, the link's in the chat. So go away. We dare you. We give you a push to be able to come on. So yeah, the link's in the chat. And also, if you do come on, we recommend coming on through Google Chrome because it just works a lot better with Restream. If not, it's fine. You can still come on through other ways.
If not, if nobody comes on,
if nobody comes,
do what we did with Andrew, which was role playing. So Andrew came on as a really a quite depressed caller, didn't he, Dale? Do you remember that one, Amy? Not sure.
I do. I do.
You know, that was the most difficult session I think I've ever had to do. Me and Dale between us, and even with the audience questions, we were really stuck. So I went away thinking, well, no wonder I'm doing a counselling course now with you and David.
Yes.
It's actually.
So I've got an idea as well. Why don't we talk about, so just to let everyone know again, if you want to come on for a free reading, in the chat, Joel has put the link and he's just about to repost it. So you get a free reading with all of us. And I was just thinking, guys, why don't we talk about the spring equinox? And I know me and you, Laura, have been talking a lot lately, and there seems to be a lot of things going on around us with the solar flares coming into this change of going from galactic winter to galactic spring. So let's talk about the equinox and coming into it and what's going to be important for everyone in preparation going through this time so they don't lose their mind. So Laura, Amy, do you want to go and start this?
Go ahead, Laura. Me? Go ahead, Laura.
You go ahead, Amy, if you want to.
No, go.
I guess. Okay. So equinox, I've already started to say prayers over my wood. So I will do an equinox fire. It's just something I love doing. So it's a time of balance, isn't it? It's a time of new growth. It's been a long, hard winter here, rain-wise, in the UK. And it will be really good to see some sun and just to get out there and reconnect to nature. And yet, with all the solar flares, I've got a feeling it's not just me who's been shaken up. Shaking everything loose, as they say, the last few weeks. And I've really had to dig deep, and I've really had to make sure I'm grounded and doing the work and calling myself out upon a few aspects of myself that I'd like to bring to balance this equinox, because that's what it's about. It's about the bringing of everything to balance, isn't it, at equinox?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have started the usual routine, which is to prepare the prayer ground. So I'll go out to the prayer ground, say prayers, put stones round. Most of you know the sort of the basic boot camp stuff that we talk about in preparation for when I'm going to do that, and that's the same sort of process with any ceremony like that I go through. And probably most of you guys know that a really good way is if you record a few hours of revocations, maybe on an old mobile, on an old cell phone. I usually leave that out in the woodshed with the wood so that it's playing on a loop over and over again, because just through work, and same with a lot of people, I don't have the time to sit there for hours. I would like to, but I don't have that time. So I that's a nice old trick we've done before. Andrew's
Beautiful,
I love
Laura.
that idea.
So we have beautiful. We have our first caller. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. I didn't think I'd get in so quickly.
There we go. And you're here. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing great. Wow.
Hi, Ryan.
Are you able to put on your video?
I'm not quite made up, I'd say.
Okay, no worries.
No problem.
Yeah.
Hi, Ryan. What's
Hello.
going on with you? How are you?
Wow. It's a bit of a surprise I got on so quickly, but now that I'm here, I feel like I should kind of get to something of importance. I was just thinking it'd be fun to talk about the spirit world and aspects of the spirit world, but
You can.
know-
Why not? You can talk about that.
Yeah, but I know that can delve into what does Andrew say when you just think about interesting topics and kind of are missing the important things.
What, light work and distractions?
Yeah, when you just get
Curiosity.
curiosity.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can I ask you a question, Ryan?
Please.
So with your journey, it as I'm reading you, it feels like there's a stop and start energy going on with you all the time, and it's like an enabling energy where you start, you begin, you stop, you start, you begin, and stop, and there's such a start stop going on in you that there's no, I'd say, repetition with, I'd say, distance. So what is it like for you doing kind of inner work and spirituality? Because you did mention curiosity learning, and this could be connected to that.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you just said. I do think I do have certain self-sabotaging tendencies, and and for me, it's just been a whole lot of pushing myself forward and believing in myself, and just getting over hurdles of self-belief, and just my whole journey has really been discovering who I am, and through discovering who I am, I just you feel a confidence and a clarity, and so I do feel solid in knowing who I am, but it can be a lonely journey for me, and so it just can be a challenge pushing myself into consistent practices.
So as I'm doing an audit on your soul, I'm seeing that it's basically like the give up, and there's an obsession within your energy at the moment, which is leading to you, I'd say, it's like a constant obsession going on. And what it comes down to, what you're missing, is the true essence of self-love and self-care, about you really putting yourself forward now, putting yourself first, and actually beginning this journey of self-love. Because at the moment, this self-love journey for you is not really, I can't really see much going on. What do you do for actually caring for yourself and caring for yourself? What are some of the things you do, Ryan?
Well, therapy for me is a lot of dancing, honestly. I feel like when I go dancing, everything just lifts off of me, and I feel so free when I'm in the music and just getting to dance, like so untethered and just unbound. That's really great therapy for me. I really need to get outside more. Being in a big city, has its challenges of being in nature. But truly being outside is a great release. I'm also an artist and practicing every day on artwork that I make, which is an endeavor of mine to truly have it be a career path. That is also a therapy for me that, just brings out my, spiritual channeling, and even helps me see, the other sides of me through my, creativity. But it has been a journey with the self-love. Recently, got intimate with somebody, and then I was disappointed with how quickly they just left, and I was, it was pretty disheartening. And the idea of self-love, I'm like, oh, definitely came back of needing to just provide that for myself. And so I wouldn't feel so much pain when other people just leave my life.
Laura, Amy, is there anything you want to pick up and talk about?
I can definitely hear the hesitation and the doubt, Ryan, that Dale's talking about, and the lack of oomph. Really, there's a touch of sadness too about your voice, and it's almost like you could do something like singing to reinvest in the depth of your voice, or the strength of your voice, or the resonance of it. But that could also be about some background sadness that I'm picking up on that's going on. Mm-hmm. So what happened? How you're not in a relationship now?
No, it's been quite a while since I've been in a real committed relationship, and so getting close and intimate with people has just been quite challenging. And like I was just saying, recently I did get a little close with somebody, and it ended more abruptly than I would have wanted, and in in ways I would have not preferred. But to me, it was just like a lesson, because the feelings that came back were, familiar feelings before of being in past relationships, and them, kind of going the same way of me, not, seeing like, hey, like I'm not, what the other people are looking for. And so, it's just totally, what comes to mind is like, I'm not going to find anybody in the stage that I'm at, and like, in the level that I'm at. So to me, it's always a matter of just like leveling up, and like in all sorts of manners. It's just like putting myself on another level that's, just, where I'm closer to where I want to be. And that's the only way I'm going to find somebody that's going to reciprocate myself. Because I've never, been with somebody who is like, just going to be with me for me. It's always been a matter of, what you can offer. And I'm just like, well, I definitely have to level up and be at a higher level to even meet people that are going to, really care and love me. Because I just feel like I'm just, attracting people that are just seeing me on the surface level. And then I'm just kind of a different person, and then people don't usually stick around.
It sounds like you've got a sort of an expectation program running in you, that is how a relationship's going to be. That might be something just to look at, because that's obviously come up in you, I think, or been growing in you, or put in you from prior relationships. So what happens is we then tend to expect the next all relationships to be like that, rather than letting each relationship be a standalone relationship. So that might be something just to look at, how your past relationships have been, and whether you're running that I expect this relationship will turn out like the others sort of program. That might be something to look at. And also, there's a slight seriousness about the sound of your relationships, and I'm wondering whether initially just to seek the joy and fun within a relationship rather than wanting to get too deep. Can you see where I'm coming from on this? To be a
Um,
bit lighter about it. Let's see what Dale and Amy think.
Yeah. I also saw the expectations too, Laura, that he has on the relationships. And sometimes it feels as though you set yourself up for that disappointment to happen, And so when that happens, what is it that you can do different? Do you go inwards and ask yourself, well, what happened in that relationship just now? Why did she ghost me? Asking yourself questions, I think, is important to get to that inner. Also, it feels as though there could be an imbalance in your spirituality versus in your reality and your spirituality. Does that make sense? Where you may want this person to be spiritual like you, but that is that a really high expectation that you have of that person?
that's something I would, eventually deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we do I've been, relationships, you do kind of have these parallel rails running where you're together, but yet you're doing your own thing. I had to learn that, where you're not codependent on them to be there for you at all times. So you kind of have to, like, hey, that's, cool, but I'm going to be doing this, but I like that you're doing that. And then coming together and sharing in those things that you like to do together. If that makes sense, guys.
Yes, makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just be
Go
a little
ahead,
more
go ahead.
lighthearted is what you mean, right?
Yeah, like don't get so don't go in there so serious and
What do you
wanting
do for fun,
all the
Ryan?
check marks.
Sorry, Amy.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun, Ryan?
I mean, besides dancing and making art,
What makes you laugh?
makes me laugh. I don't know, just silly things, just goofing around. I can be pretty lighthearted myself. It's almost something I'm pretty good at. And
But do you stifle it? Do you like, oh, that's enough? I know that one. It's like, oh, that's enough. I can't have so much fun.
No, I mean, I actually would say I'm the type of person who is, almost too nonchalant about about things, and people usually would, criticize me of not being serious enough. I can, just see the joy in almost anything, and but I think my seriousness comes from like the lack of trust and from other people, and not and seeing like other people can take me in a certain way that allows me to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
So so when I'm scanning you, Ryan, it's like I'd say you're going into a strail of depression, and I can hear it in your voice when you speak. It's like there's, I'd say, about 58% of you actually talking, and there's like such a disconnection process with you, especially your feet. It's like as I'm going down your tailbone, C1 and C2 are just filled with this. I'd say it's like an anxiety. It's like a turned on anxiety going on in the background. Then the feet are so stiff, and for you it's going to be about finding balance within everything to bring you back into alignment with loving thyself, and how important it is for you to appreciate how great you are and some of the many talents you have, and actually respecting yourself enough to see it. And I think for you, a victory ceremony in the spring is going to be important to start honing in on the positivity, what you can bring to this world, because it feels like there's a lot of lost energy within you. And I'd highly recommend you start breaking up start having some sort of tailbone release. It's like your whole body's just stuck, and your feet are really ungrounded, and your brain's scattered. And it's about how you can actually start releasing energy through your body, regularly purging, regularly clearing, and just start lifting some of this smug around you. Um, and like talking about contraindications, prayer, that's going to be important for you to build a foundation of prayer directly, allowing yourself to connect to the feelings of love, happiness, truth, the touch of others, and so on. Because I do think there's someone waiting for you, but that person is only going to come to you when you start valuing yourself. And this is a lot of thing. I have this problem as well with relationships and going through divorce. It all comes down to valuing yourself again. Start lighting that fire and kindling in your heart again, allowing yourself to see the greatness. So there is a soul family member out for you waiting out there, and for everyone listening as well. And this is something I've had to go through the hard times of realizing that, going back to source, coming away from source, going back to source. And I think for you, it's going to be about the joy and the laughter now, like Laura was talking about. You're going to have to bring that into your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important.
Mm.
Yeah, in whatever way you can, really, Ryan. We always say, don't we, our first relationships with ourselves. So when we get that one right, and I know it takes a whole lifetime, it takes many lifetimes to have to get ourselves balanced and so on. It does take a lot of work, but that does change your energy field and it does change who is attracted to you and who you're going to attract. And in a ceremony and so on, or in your prayers, do prayers for yourself too, so that you can take on that ancestral wisdom, you can take on your ancestors' teachings straight right into your blood to help you on this particular theme.
What kind of
a good relationship? Go on, Amy.
Ryan, what kind of art do you do?
Oh, it's in the realm of like fantasy artwork and like psychedelic pop.
Paintings.
Yep, paintings. Yeah, paintings and illustrations.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know why I had to ask you that question. There's something about your painting that will get you, even though that is like what you love to do. And I don't know if that's your job. Is that your, like you sell these, and is that, yeah?
Yeah, it's a part of my career.
Career. Okay. I don't know, guys, help me out here. There's something with his paintings that will help him, something looking different at them instead of what you've always done. Do they all feel like the same? I don't know where I'm going. I feel like there's something here.
Yeah, to refresh.
There's something with your paintings that keep you stuck. Something in them.
And that's the so that was something I was reading as well, Amy, just then, was it's so many different personalities within him, and it's about him finding the source within himself and start allowing that to come more out and start expressing himself through source connection, because there's many different personalities always blending into one with you at the moment. And a lot of people have this, it's programs. One day one program will take over, the next day the next one will. But it's about, go ahead, sorry, Amy.
No, I was just gonna say, I just see this. You said more psychedelic, out there kind of paintings. Maybe bring it. This is the grounding piece, probably, is to bring the paintings back to just paint what's outside your window. Paint what's out in the woods when you're taking a walk. Like, bring that back in your heart and bring that back to your canvas. If that makes sense. Just do something other than what you're doing, because that doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Not that you don't have to forget about it. It's just at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, I've been told many times before about setting, the intention with my pieces before I make them, and saying what was going to happen with them, and what I want for them, and for them to do with other people. If I could just ask quickly about with self-love, I feel like I will usually come back to this problem of just feeling alone, and that makes me feel sad. And
so this is going back to those personalities, and this is something as I'm going into the Dreamer's Lodge of the Bear, what the bear's talking to me about is about you actually taking ownership for who you are as an I am being, and stop allowing these personality disorders and traits to start, I'd say, eliminating the true soul spark of yourself. And this is going to take courage and commitment, and about you writing down, journaling, understanding when this lack personality comes in, the lonely personality comes in, identify it, give it a name, understand where it came from, and slowly start going through each and every personality and following it back to where this personality was formed is going to be a very big progression spurt for you. But you're going to have to start realizing when you're living in program or when you're living in spirit, because at the moment, I'd say 89% of your day is in program Agent Smith mode. And it's about you allowing more of the soul spark to be present and start eradicating these personalities, because they are destroying you slowly. Like every personality disorder, it's not a personality disorder, like every other personalities we have, like programs can do, is take us on the path of darkness. And now it's about you seeing those different versions and saying, no, I'm not giving you Mr. Lonely. I'm not going to listen to you now. I'm going to go out. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to go do this. And I'm going to start listening to my soul again, because I can't hear my soul at the moment. So prayer is going to be important for you to start calling to the soul, calling to the great mystery, allowing you to source that through the day. It might be a good idea, and this is something I've been doing lately and something I talked to Andrew about last week. It might even be good for you to start making some sort of soup or food and cooking it up over time, and start putting so much healing and psychic surgery or whatever you want to put into it about you finding source and self-love again. So you may have like a soup boiling up for hours and hours and hours, and it's going to be a treatment to yourself. I put the energies of love, happiness, so I can remember the source within myself. I put all of the essence of 1,000 psychic surgery treatments into this and so on, and start building it up. And when you have that, you're going to have a treatment reminding you of what's real. And I feel that's really going to help you, because it helped me a hell of a lot lately.
Mhm.
Is reminding myself of what it takes to be here, and the love and the peace, and coming back to the peacekeepers and peacemakers, of how important that frequency is, as Andrew said, in many, many years. Um, Anything else, Laura, Amy, you want to add before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I think if I've been on that loneliness journey as well, Ryan. And the more I got into spirit, the more I realized I can't be lonely, because spirit is with us all the time. So I then, my most loneliest time is going to bed. So I would then, that's when I realized I'd just start talking to the grandmothers, or start talking to Two Feathers, my guide. Anybody you connect to in the unseen world, Ryan, connect to them, talk to them, and they will talk back to you, and you will hear it in one form or another, and you will get a lot of help that way. Just believe, just take that time. Whenever is your darkest, loneliest time, we're never alone. Spirit is always with us. You'll always have your guides around you. Always have somebody there you can talk to. And the other thing is, find some joy in something. Go, maybe get out your comfort zone a little, to knock some of these programs away just for a while. I go out, I walk the hills for hours, and I come back, I feel amazing. Or I go out in my camper van, go and dance, whatever it is that does it for you. You can remember that frequency of joy, that feeling of joy. I know you've got a bit of the disconnect, and I know there's a heart disconnection there too, but I know you can work on that. You've got the ability to, but just go out and try and do something that when you come back, even exercise can make you release the dopamine, can't it? Can make you feel exhilarated. And then just try keep building on that, seeking joy, seeking something out of your comfort zone. It just needs something to dislodge some of these programs. And each time you do that, you dislodge another little bit of the program. It's not overnight, doesn't happen overnight, but just working towards that, and remembering, your spiritual practices too. Prayer, everyday prayer, will take you on that journey to joy, will take you out of depression.
Beautiful.
Wow.
So
Could,
we're going to have to wrap this up, guys, because we've got quite a few callers on. So any quick last words, Amy, you wanted to get in there?
Okay. Could I just say, I wrote this prayer right before the show, And I think this is for Ryan, if he wants to repeat. It's very short. And this, I'm telling you, Ryan, this is something that just came through. So if you want to repeat after me, and then it's a very short prayer, but I think this is all what we were talking about today.
Okay, I can do that.
Sure. I, in this ever-present moment of now with Creator,
I, in this ever-present moment of now with Creator,
with the ancestors of the land and of the north,
with the ancestors of the land and the north,
angels, guides, and guardians,
angels, guides, and guardians,
I hear your call to the chambers of my heart,
I hear your call to the chambers of my heart,
to where the real love, the big love, resides,
to where the big love, the real love, resides,
where I have access at any moment in time, past, present, future, or in the dreamscapes of time.
where I have any access in time, in the now,
Where-
present moment, and the... I forgot the...
Yeah, where I have access to any moment in time,
Or I have access to any moment in time,
past, present, future,
past, present, future,
and in the dreamscapes of time.
and in the dreamscapes of time.
I hear your whispers through every cell in my body,
I hear your whispers through every cell of my body,
my being,
my being,
my soul, and my spirit.
my soul, and my spirit.
And I call upon you all to ease my insecurities.
And I call upon you all to ease my insecurities,
Quell my doubts,
quail my doubts,
my shame, and my blame.
my shame, and my blame.
For you and I are the way showers
For you and I are the way showers
and the dream showers of this vessel recreated.
and the dream showers of this vessel we created.
Our connection never broken or splintered.
Our connection never broken or splintered.
This is what makes us whole in all we create together.
This is what makes us whole in all we create together.
So let it begin with the love deep within
So let it begin with the love deep within
and uncover what we have created, for it is already in form.
and uncover what we have created, for it is already in form,
Now and forever.
now and forever.
Aho.
Aho.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Amy.
you, Ryan. Yes, thank you. My goodness.
Wow, Amy.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I-
Laura,
Thank
I
you very much
truly
for calling
appreciate
in,
it.
brother. Thank you, Ryan.
It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Take care now.
You take care.
Cheers.
Bye, bye, bye.
Walk in joy.
So,
I think that's some good stuff.
we'd like to
Wow,
welcome-
good.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Andrew. I thought you were the next caller. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, that was perfect timing.
Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
Great. I've passed on the skill of repeat after me. You did wonderful.
Oh, yes, you did. I had, slowing it down a little bit. I had to slow it down.
Was that something you'd written
So
or was it you were reading?
I read it. I mean, I wrote it
Okay.
5 minutes before I came on.
Oh, even better. Brand
Yeah.
new tester.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, thank you.
So we've got Daniel on now. Hello, Daniel. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Daniel. How
Hey,
you
how's it
doing?
going? Cool. I wasn't expecting to get put on so quick. What's the format? What do I do? What do I say? How do I let you guys know where I am?
So this is a reading show. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Daniel.
Actually, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from the wonderful Mount Shasta.
Ah, how long you been there?
I've been here since just before COVID happened, so the end of 2019. I got the psychic hit that something was coming, so I was like, "Bye, city."
Where did you come? Where did you go from?
Kind of the greater Seattle area.
What kept you in Shasta?
Mostly right now it's my son. I separated from his mom after we were married, and we separated after we moved down here, and he still lives here, so I'm sort of still here during that process, but we're finalizing divorce papers after way too long, and I'm looking into new places to move to right now.
So is it challenging living near the mountain energetically?
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah, so the mountain likes to kick people out. Like every year, there's a cycle of those that are getting ejected, red carded from the mountain, forcefully at times, and there are others that are given the slow kick in the ass, like you can't stay no more.
Yeah, and I've actually, honestly, I've had that feeling for like 3 years or 4 years that I should leave, and I didn't have money, and I was kind of stuck in this whole relationship thing, and so I kept just mind fucking myself into like not doing anything. And now I've manifested a new job, and the divorce process is happening, so there's movement in the direction.
What's the job?
It's actually the same job I had before COVID. I'm doing business consulting.
So you go around to local businesses and consult for them, or do they come to you?
No, I work for a firm up in the Seattle area, and it's for technology companies. So I'm doing stuff for like Microsoft right now, and I'm doing like answering emails and copying files to different locations and following different procedures. And
so it's a remote job.
Yeah, it's a remote job.
And you can remote this job anywhere in the world?
No, there's some limitations. I have to get it approved by a manager if I move. And it's supposed to be near different hubs of the company.
All right, so as long as there's a similar hub, you can go.
Yeah. So right now I'm looking up back at the Seattle area because my kid's mom wants to move back to Canada. And so I'm considering trying to move close to like the Vancouver area so I could still see him, at least every once in a while. I'm trying to figure out like how to balance the co-parenting thing over a border while still having, what I need to do career-wise and life-wise.
Yeah. So what does spirituality mean to you?
A lot of things, I guess. I think to me, spirituality has been an exploration and a journey of discovering myself and then clarifying within myself and refining myself so that I can express the fullness of who I am or express the fullness of my creativity in every moment. I guess that's kind of how
passionate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, what kind of things are you passionate about your creations? What do you like to do?
It used to be a lot of like art and drawing sort of things. Lately, I've been, when I have the time, I've been sort of busy lately, but when I have the time, it's been a lot of story writing. I really like writing stories. And then I really love when I have the time or the people, I love doing improv and acting stuff. I'm like really into that.
Improv is a unique skill set. Believe it or not, a lot of this reading show stuff is pure improv, psychic improv.
Oh yeah, for sure. I one of the reasons why I love you guys.
Yeah, we've got some unique comedy that shows up on these shows too.
Yeah, it's great.
So do you have a daily practice?
I do. It's been pretty wavy the past 4 years, but right now with the new job, it's helping me anchor it back in. So every morning I wake up and I go to the gym, and then I come home and I'll do like a cold shower, and then I'll do maybe like 15 or 20 minutes of a meditation. And then at nighttime, I'll do a little bit of journaling and a little bit of meditation. I'll listen to like meditation music, like brain balancing audios called HoloSync while I'm falling asleep at night.
So you were saying you like to draw. How good have you become at drawing?
It's been a while since I've done much drawing. In college, I used to take like, what was it called? Production artist sort of classes. So I got pretty good at it then, but it's the kind of thing you have to practice regularly. So I think I'm like mediocre amateur if I put in the time to get the skills back up.
Yeah, but if you could do anything near South Park quality, you can become famous. I mean, South Park proved it. Okay,
that's true. Yes, yeah. Well, especially these days. I mean, I think there's Mid Journey and AI, so lots of opportunities.
there's opportunity there. It's just you need to have the technical background to put it all together as a production.
Right. Absolutely.
So what kind of stories do you like to write?
Oh man, I honestly, to me, the improv and the story writing is a way of exploring like the vastness of the human experience. So I tend to lean towards fantasy and sci-fi sort of stuff, but I really love, what's that?
I'm the same way. Fantasy, sci-fi. I try to mix them together.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I bet with you, it's must be so much fun because you've got access to like so much the universal dimensional space.
One of the stories I've been working on recently is I took UFC, that fighting style, and I mixed it with the fantasy world. So I created a competition inside like a magic fantasy world where all the top wizards go and fight each other in mixed magical martial arts.
Wow, that's fun.
Like
That sounds great.
Street Fighter, except they don't shoot fireballs and stuff like that. Everything is what you can do to modify the body to do damage to somebody else.
Oh, interesting. That's cool. That adds some really interesting dimensions of like exploring the dynamics between different elements and energy and
And then you have the tournaments these tournaments are held every 5 years, and it doesn't matter what faction, good, bad, neutral, evil, or whatever, as long as you can take human form, you can be in it. And so there's a truce between all the good guys and the bad guys every 5 years to prove who's the best. And
cool.
the tournaments are 20 rounds, each 20-minute rounds, and it's like submission or knockouts, and you have what's called a regeneration. So even if you kill the person, they can regenerate from an attack. It's all about, can you get them to be, submit, or a full knockout, which is, dead for longer than a minute.
Oh, that's interesting. Are there like different clans or factions that everyone's coming from?
Yeah, everything. I've made dozens of factions.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's the fun part of the world building.
Yeah, I love that. I'm reading the Dune series right now, and I'm on Heretics of Dune, like the 5th or 6th one.
That's an incredible series. That book really influenced me growing up.
Oh, really? Dude.
Yeah.
I could do like full on lectures about the series. I mean, it's so thorough, so good, so many layers to it. I quote it constantly, and anytime something happens where I get upset about some kind of sociological political dynamic, I'm like, oh, this happened in Dune.
Yeah, exactly. And that book came out in the 80s.
Yeah. Like, this is exactly what the Bene Gesserit would do. And then my friends look at me sideways and then they're like, God damn it.
So what's your longest story you've written?
Oh man. Okay, well, two funny sort of things. One I was working on is like about this whole world. I was trying to do a pretty big world building with a floating sky city sort of thing. That had like many generations and like a long story of like how they became floating sky cities. And then I have like, I don't know, some kind of connection or lifetime or aspects connected to that sort of energy. So I really like it. There's something about it that really gets me.
I talk about floating air cities all the time, cities of light.
Yeah, the Lemurian ones, right?
Yeah, and Atlanteans too.
Yeah. So there's like a whole like kind of saga that I was trying to work on with that and like outlining it and stuff, and I was jumping around a little bit too much last year with different stories. And then I did this other one that was a joke with a friend where we were writing like a whole saga that was almost like Dune but with like a cat messiah, because I thought it would just be a funny meme, and I was just gonna have the AI like flesh out the whole cat verse, and it was just like a kind of like a ridiculous meme, but it also had like many layers of interesting stuff. And I was also like building a chat bot that could like, I had the prompt to be like I told it was a multi-dimensional metaphysical cat that purpose was to enlighten humanity and use cat analogies and metaphors to answer questions. So we had this AI just generate like a ton of content, and then I wrote stories on top of that, and I was like writing mini chapters on top of that, and I was like doing this whole big thing, but I got kind of overwhelmed with work, so I kind of set it aside for now.
So how long are these stories? Actual written stuff.
Yeah, the actual written stuff's not too long. I mean, that one was only like, I think I got into like 4 or 5 chapters, and then the other one was like about the same too. And
So
I haven't really,
under 20 pages.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I haven't really like sat down to like be like, okay, I'm going to actually finish the story. I'm actually going to write it out. I'm actually going to publish it.
Yeah, you're cart before the horse, though. So, but first piece of advice here is you already have a daily practice. You have to add writing to your daily practice. Even if the writing is you just taking your voice and talking it out loud, improvising it all out loud, and then you coming back at a later date and then putting it to text.
Okay.
Okay? And it doesn't have to be in the same day. But put it to your daily practice of, all right, I've got to get these stories from my mind into some form of manifestation. And starting with the oral video log of yourself, because you could act it out. You already like acting, you already like improv. So if you have a character you want to create, act it out. And just let your phone record it. Okay? And then you go back later and try to capture the essence of what you're acting out. Build up, 5, 6, 7, 8 recordings, and then just do the actual transcription. It's not that hard. You could probably do it in one afternoon. You get a bunch of them.
Yeah, for sure. And there's like little tools that can help with the transcription and stuff. So
Sure. Unless you're using acting voices, and it might be weird.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Still listen to it and read it as it's playing and edit it as it goes, and then that limits your time more effective.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they don't have to have the AI do everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We use the tool where it is.
Okay.
So, how old's your son?
He's 5, turning 6 at the end of March.
And where in Canada is she thinking of moving in the Vancouver area? You said.
Yeah, it's kind of in a negotiation right now. So I'm trying to get her to go into the Vancouver area because it's like it's just the most accessible city. In the future, if I find some way to move there, it creates a lot of opportunities for tech kind of work. And they also have great acting classes up there.
Where is she originally from in Canada?
Calgary.
There are no Microsoft offices in Calgary.
I'm not fucking going to Calgary, dude. It's in the, I mean, it's like snowy tundra in the middle of nowhere. And I have that area just doesn't appeal to me at all.
So your son's not worth it?
No, he's totally worth it. But she doesn't even want, she doesn't want to live in Calgary. So I think the Vancouver area is better because it's also closer to Seattle where his grandparents on my side are. And the plane tickets to Calgary are only $80. So it still links him to his grandparents on her side.
So she doesn't want to move back to where her family's from?
No, I don't think she does.
If she did, would you do that?
I don't think so. Getting into,
you got to remember, essentially she's looking at being a single mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to follow and be within a 2-hour drive. And anything more than a 2-hour drive is too tough on you.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking.
Seattle to Vancouver is not a short drive. Okay.
No, it's like 3 hours. I was thinking maybe Bellingham to Vancouver.
It's still 3 hours with your border crossing.
I guess. I mean, it's like an hour and a half, but I guess border.
Right. So what are you going to do? You're going to go get the border crossings all the time, or you could be waiting 3 hours sometimes at one border crossing.
Right.
Well, those are things for you to consider. Laura, Dale, anything you guys like to add?
Just sounds like you're doing great already with your meditation and all that, Daniel. I was just thinking to actually add prayer to that. That would really take you to the next level beyond meditation, to have a daily prayer practice. Do you ever do prayers, out loud prayers?
Yeah, some kind of. I mean, I do the contract revocations too a few times a week. And then I do some sort of prayers when things get really bad. That's like my backup. I don't know. I found prayer to be really like hit and miss. I sort of do more like gratitude sort of prayers, I guess.
That's cool, but you're a very impromptu guy, so I think prayer is something you'd be able to do on the hoof.
Okay.
I think
What kind of prayer are you suggesting?
whatever makes you feel inspired. I mean, there's gratitude prayers, then you can connect with every single element. You could do a prayer just to the wind, to the four winds. You could do a prayer to Grandfather Sun for fire, a prayer to Mother Earth. Yeah, a prayer to the waters, a prayer to rivers. So you could use the natural things. You could do a prayer to your ancestors and reconnect to their wisdom to help you on your next stage of your journey.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, a prayer to talk to your ancestors about traveling, about moving, about you can turn a prayer into almost a two-way conversation with them, because that's really what it is. We just get the answers back in different ways. We might hear it many days later, but the fact that you stepped up and made that connection to them will so enhance your journey, and especially bringing in the ancestors, even though all the elements are our ancestors too, but you can start doing different types of prayer. And the other thing is you could do the revocations in different voices again, because that seems to be your sort of style from what you were saying to Andrew. So you could it makes them more fun, and it brings up different aspects of revocations that we've not seen before or felt before. It highlights when we do it in voices.
Yeah, sorry, I got excited. I listened to your guys' talk on aspect integration, and I started doing. I need to learn more accents or like try different ones, but there was one that was like Irish or something that kept coming up, so I kept doing that one with revocations. That was fun.
Yeah, it is fun. That's how I developed Posh Laura from
Right.
that. And
Yeah, gotta love that.
through that aspect, through that light body, that shard, whatever you want to call it, through that aspect of me, I learned so much and saw another side of myself. And that will be brilliant for you, because you sound like you're a natural at that anyway.
So, Daniel, one piece of advice I want to give you is I highly recommend you start getting out in the sun and doing some sun gazing. It's going to be very important for you that you start bringing light within your body, because there's a lot of, I'd say, there's not enough light coming into you at the moment. So I highly recommend, as Andrew's talked about and teaches, is the sun gazing, where you're looking through the third eye in the sun and you allow the light to start fully going through the body. It's like your body's needing some increase of light at the moment and just this clarity feeling. So anything where you can start doing psychic surgery, where you're bringing different aspects of light into those shadowy areas, are going to be very important for you, brother. Especially from what you've gone through and all of the stuff you've dealt with the separation and change and everything. It's about you now starting to clear that out by taking your time, going within and starting realizing where some of this darkness is or some of this shadow is. Start getting that out and start replacing it with light. It's like you want to be seeing yourself as a death and the rebirth at the moment for yourself, because there's a lot of changes for you.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I'm taking notes.
I got a question for you. When's the last time you had somebody do body work on you?
Oh man, it's been way too long. It's actually, I have a whole list of different bodywork types that I want to do now that I've got this new job. So I'm just waiting for the first paycheck, and then I was gonna do all the sessions.
Uh-huh.
It's probably been like 6 or 7 years since I got bodywork.
Where in Shasta are you?
Just downtown.
There are so many body workers there, it's ridiculous. You just got to find the right ones. I think for you, the best body work for you to start with is going to be rolfing. If you don't,
okay. Yeah, I do. My friend is friends with one of like the pioneers in it or something, and she lives in town. Or maybe it's Calvin Christ.
Don't let me kid you. It is very fucking painful. Okay.
Okay.
And you need purging. You've taken on, from before the divorce, far too much of your ex's energy.
Yeah.
After the divorce, you kept taking it on, and you had to step up to be a father, and then you had to share your son's energy with yourself, and your energy has been watered down.
Yeah, I
Okay?
agree.
So this is not a negative purge. It's not the negativity. It's their energy simply needs to go back to them. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to find spots in your calves that is so painful you're going to scream as if somebody's torturing you. Okay, the same thing in your feet, and then in your lower back, and then when they start getting under your shoulder blades, it's going to be like the densest of energies coming out. And as they rework the back of your neck and reshape part of your lower spine, it's got a little bit of a curve in it from stress.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of that.
Yeah, generally rolfers want to do 10 sessions, 1 a week. Just do it.
Okay.
Just do it. And are there any float companies in the Shasta area?
There was, but then it closed. Man, I want float so bad. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. If not, you're gonna find some other water energy that you're gonna need to regenerate yourself.
Should I was gonna do like detoxing sort of baths. Should I just maybe do that for now?
Yeah, in the interim, just regular detox baths. You can go get those cannabis bath bombs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like CBD ones.
CBD ones. I mean, it's not going to show up on your drug test if you're worried about that.
No, I don't. I took way too much cannabis the past like 4 years to deal with the divorce thing, and I'm kind of sick of the fogginess from it all, and I have to be pretty.
You don't get high off of the bath.
Okay.
Your liver never gets to absorb the THC and convert it to the psychoactive process. Okay.
Oh, I see.
It's all skin absorption. It goes right to the gallbladder. Okay, so
the body just feels
it's a pure body relaxation. Is all that it is. There's no high to it.
Oh, great.
Ellie, you want to share your experience with the cannabis bath bombs?
So the sleep I had on when I have a cannabis bath bomb is the best sleep I've ever had in my entire life. The way I wake up the next day feeling fully, it's just like the computer turning on. There's no like getting up. You just wake up and you feel, wow, I feel fucking great. When I started doing it, it's like I just went into this deepest recovery sleep, and all my skin, like the next day, it felt like I had brand new skin. It's definitely worth doing. It's really good at regenerating. Really good.
We've lost him.
I lost the connection for a second.
Yeah.
And get some Epsom salt as well. So when you put the bath bomb in, I think I put 2 cups of Epsom salt. So the actual cannabis floats on top. So you'll see the oil or whatever it is floating on top. And yeah, you can just add shit to it, put it down, put more warm in. So you can be in there for hours. But then you get into bed or get into wherever you are and you're like, holy shit, this is great. Yeah. My body in such a relaxed state. It's so good.
Yeah, so there's no psychoactive high off of it. It's just pure body relaxation.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. And I found a really good acupuncturist in town. Do you think that acupuncture would be good?
Absolutely, acupuncture would be good. Just understand the results that you're going to get from acupuncture are there's going to be some immediate relief you feel here and there, but for you, acupuncture is going to be a longer term adjustment journey. As you begin to go through the different emotional journeys that you have a cycle on, it's where acupuncture will be its greatest gift for you. So you like most humans have a 90-day emotional cycle that kind of loops or repeats. People who are really stressed out, it's down to a week where they emotionally spiral every week, every 2 weeks. Yours is about every 70, 75 days when I'm sensing you. Wow. And so you're going to be looking at acupuncture like every other week or every 3 weeks for the next 5 months. And that's what you'll notice your biggest gift of what acupuncture does by balancing you.
So about like kind of re-entraining the system and balancing out the elements and emotions on like a regular basis to reset like the whole rhythm.
Yes, like a 3,000 mile oil change.
Mm-hmm.
Equivalently, you need the reset. In the beginning, it may be worthwhile for you to do 1 a week for 5 weeks and then slow it down. What it'll do is it'll give you a deeper retuning where that 75 days might switch to like 120 days cycle.
Okay.
What's your diet like?
It's okay. I need to get it better. Another thing that's on my list. I do like protein smoothies in the morning with like bananas and blueberries and apples, and then like protein powder. And I take like a multivitamin, liquid multivitamin enzyme thing from a company called Pure Trim.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah, and I really like those. And then I just finished a colon cleanse, and I plan on doing a bunch of other cleanse. I was going to do like a liver cleanse or like a heavy metal cleanse, and I think like I need a parasite cleanse.
So skip out the other cleanse and just do the parasite cleanse.
Okay.
So what came out of your last cleanse you just did?
You mean like what came out of my body?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I didn't like investigate it. It's just.
I mean, was it larger volumes? Did it stink like a motherfucker?
It was just like, 3 or 4 movements a day, and it was all pretty liquidy. This particular type of thing, I was using a thing called Oxy. It's like
OxyClean? I know.
It was like Oxy. It's kind of like OxyClean. It's called Oxy Powder from a company called Global Healing.
Yeah, so all that is puts more magnesium in your gut and takes water from the rest of the body and forces it to go into the intestinal tract. And the osium or oxygen they're saying that's trying to cleanse is actually just marketing.
It's just what?
It's just extra magnesium in your gut.
I see. And then I was also taking this thing called La Flora, and it's like a digestive health that I was supposed to be taking every day with the cleanse.
Yeah, so that's the thing to restart your intestinal. So you probably just want to start. You don't need to do any more colon cleansing. You just need to do the parasite cleanse, and that's just a due diligence because you just finished a cleanse, and because it was mostly liquid, what it's saying it's resetting your probiotics right now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there wasn't terrible amount of petrified stuff to come out. The fact that you did 3 to 4 bowel movements a day was meaning you had a lot of backed up stuff somewhere, and a lot of it was mucus.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So parasite cleanse, and then probably just get digestive enzymes. Do you know what those are?
Yeah.
You just take those with each meal. That'd be a better thing for you to do long term. Even if you just took the digestive enzymes with 1 meal a day instead of every meal.
It's so funny, man. I was gonna buy a session from you first thing when I got a paycheck, and that somehow this just happened.
Yeah. That's why we do these shows.
What's that?
That's why we do these shows.
Yeah, it's cool. You're still on my list. I still want to do a full on deep dive.
I look forward to it. Well, thanks a lot for calling in. We got to get to the next caller.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I love your work, and you're doing an awesome job. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good client. Good person to call in.
Yeah.
We have Matthew. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm from, I just moved to Vancouver, Washington State.
Irony.
So,
Another Vancouver. So what's going on with you?
nothing. I'm kind of in the process of getting a bunch of stuff off the ground, and it's dealing with the stresses and
what kind of stuff off the ground?
So I have my regular like my main income is like my my parts business. So we just sell parts online.
You're the gun guy?
Sorry?
You're the gun guy?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, we talked a while ago.
Did you ever get your guns from California up to where you're at?
We're actually in a couple months. My dad's moving. So in the process, we're gonna swap it over here. So I have a lot of content I'll be able to, produce with the stuff we have in our vault. But it's pretty cool. He's doing this new place he has. He has a big shop, and he's super excited. He's gonna do a bookcase vault type deal. So we want to do like some content on it, but all this stuff. It sounds great, right? It's just The
We're ever
logistics of it.
able to sell that black powder gun I talked about with you?
You know, I've what I've been doing is I've been like just doing tons of notes on the types of things I want to do like that. I have like, you know, 20 video ideas, like 20 product ideas. It's just waiting until, you know, finances are a little more stable and I can kind of, so it's like, it's a balance between how do I do everything that I have to do, I'm supposed to do, but also kind of trust and expand, you know, at the same time. And, you know, it's been busy. And I find myself in these moments of just like I'm in full trust of what I need to do in my life right now. But you know, there's and I'm getting better, but there's moments that kind of old programming, you know, pops back up, and I'm much better at stopping it now. But like last night, I didn't sleep much just because, you know, I was working too late. I knew I was working too late. I should have, you know, calmed down. You know, my equipment wasn't working, and you know, I just you know, I had a little spat of anger at myself. You know, so I'm.
That way, that happens to everyone.
Yeah, me a lot. But
so are you financially sound now, or are things challenging?
Everything's it's stabilizing. I'm not at a point where, because we talked last time we talked, I had I talked about that surgery I had on my foot.
Yep.
That kind of put me in a hole, and it's I have enough money to you know, pay all my bills, do all my minimum payments, and then any money I've had other than that, I've been like stowing away to get these other projects off the ground, you know, because I don't want to wait. So I'd rather save my money and have that available for when I need to dip into more like creative processes, you know, because, you know, I'm paying my credit cards off, but yeah.
So are you making your excess money by selling parts or complete pieces?
Selling parts. What I want to do is I want to do like a YouTube channel where, you know, we're doing kind of like restoration stuff, but I also kind of want to teach people how to do what I'm doing on maybe like a paywall thing.
Okay, so like who would be your target person that would pay for something like that? Let's not worry about price.
So like, think of the first thumbnail as being the easiest way to get into the gun industry when your state hates guns, or, you know, something like that. Because with antiques, it's
hold on 1 second.
you kind of skirt. Sorry?
I think he's just got to answer a phone call. Don't worry.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Keep going.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I have all these ideas. You know, progress is being made. And then, you know, something will just set me off and I'll waste the whole day. And then, you know, but something that's been really helping me is getting back to the gym. I think there was a time in my life where, you know, it was kind of hard to be active. And I think, but, you know, since a child, that was kind of like my main outlet is, you know, doing sports and, you know, big fan of combat sports. So I'd like to read that new, the news story that Andrew has out. That sounds like a fun one, but,
so let's ask you. So what do you do for, like, as I'm reading your energy, it's like it's overactive.
Yeah.
It's got do.
Do, and there's a lot of not being able to actually listen to the actual resonance of your true authentic self in a stillness setting, which is going to be vitally important for you for your biggest growth at the moment, is how you can actually start turning off the external noise, because everything, like Laura said, is just do, work, thinking about this. Even in bed, I'm thinking about the next thing. It's so for you, it's going to be about how you can actually start to say no to this do part of you and start allowing yourself to recover, because I think that's the best word to describe it, is you're going to have to start going into relaxation a lot more, where you're actually going into deep states of relaxation where you're not thinking about jack shit and you're just allowing yourself to experience the nothingness. What is it like for you doing stuff like that? And do you find it hard going into those spaces?
I think, and maybe this is a little bit deeper, but like a lot of callers, I when I feel isolated too, I'm programmed to, okay, what's going to get you out of it? Working, building my own kind of self worth.
Yes.
As lame as that sounds, but
that self-worth will come from that as well.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to have to explore, as well as you doing so many different things at the moment and everything's busy and you've got that like entrepreneurial energy going on, which is great. But it's talking about the other side of things now, where you're actually able to go into that recovery state of rejuvenation, relaxation, so you're comfortable with not thinking about anything. And that's something which is vitally needed for you at the moment.
And some amazing things can come from that. I learnt from Andrew, in some ways, the more I slowed down the do and the less I did, I had better ideas. I worked better because I felt rejuvenated for one thing, but I was actually giving the time for ideas and things to manifest and to come to me. Yeah. Which I was missing I thought everything was doing. I was missing in that constant do. And it just takes a quiet time, just 20 minutes a day sometimes, just to clock out of it all. And then all these things come, and things start to happen then. You can do as much in that 20 minutes as you can sometimes in 2 hours, just because you're slowing down the mind and going more to your heart.
Yeah. I mean, and that I feel it too, and it's just that programming. I'm working on it, and it's better. And I feel like just even the last month, I've been, doing my little quiet prayers, and it's kind of brings me back. And but also,
it might be a good idea. It might be a good idea for you to sit this part of you on the couch and have a word with it. And when you see it coming out and start going off, and this is something I do, and something Andrew's taught me throughout the years, is you're going to have to start going at that part and speaking to it like in counseling form, where you're actually saying, no, it's my time to relax now. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to allow myself to go into this. You've got to stop doing what you're doing. You're destroying me. You're hurting me. We've got to start talking to each other. and that's going to be important for you. Sit it down on the chair, the naughty seat, and start speaking to it.
Yeah, I need to, it's, a lot of it is like, and I got to learn to forgive my own, all the dumb shit I've done in my life, and that's, because I'm trying to make up for it. I feel like sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's.
Yeah, but you can't make up for the past. You can only make new future.
I know.
So let me get back to what I was going to talk about. So who is your client? Who would be somebody that would pay for this?
North America, the United States, my stream. So it would be, people, looking to become entrepreneurs, in a certain
in the gun parts field.
Precisely, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a very small market.
It is.
Yes, there's a lot of gun people,
but I would come with services also.
Yeah, but you're still going to have to go to every gun show across the country to make that effective.
I really don't. I got some hacks, but
see, the thing is maintaining clients.
Right.
You don't want 4 clients a year. You want 40 clients a year. And how do you go from 40 clients one year to 40 clients the next year to 40 clients the next year, 10 years in a row? Okay, so
Yeah.
your business plan is going to have to include traveling to the variety of the various gun shows, setting up a booth, talking about what it is that you do, and putting your face in front of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's where you're going to get to the what are the people who want to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be limited to your videos reach on people who want to read about guns or watch about guns but never do anything.
Right.
Like here's an example. No matter what, this is for everybody in the spirituality industry. 90% of the people who buy a product never open it. Can you imagine that? Doesn't matter if you're Tony Robbins or Andrew Bartzis, the vast majority of the people never open the product. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to be run into people who want to do this, and you'll run into some hardcore people who want to get into the gun industry or want to make some money, but they're ultimately going to be gun show people.
Okay. Yeah.
That's your niche crowd. You have to expand your niche crowd. Example, if we generally have a spiritual audience here who are not necessarily pro-gun, what kind of gun would you recommend to a person that's spiritual for the spiritual purpose of having guns?
This is something
Even
I've thought
the
about.
vast majority of them don't want guns.
Right.
So if you have a hunter, are you going to have them engrave a hawk or this? And what spiritual things could you put into it?
Yeah, I think that's something that could be improved too, is the culture of guns, because it's it's a lot of fear-based.
A lot of proper fear-based.
Right. Sport shooting, target shooting. It's like Boy Scouts. It's like why were 22 target rifles like such an integral part of that whole culture? It's because it teaches you responsibility. It's teaches you things aren't always
And then there's the competition shooting that can use Wim Hof breathing.
Yeah.
Okay. All sorts of things that the two can be married together.
Yeah.
And these are some of the little side projects you got to figure out. How do I expand my niche market? So maybe instead of me going to just a gun show, I can go to a trade show that offers other types of trades.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because what you're talking about is having an online service, no matter what the price is. Your marketing plan, short of TV, radio, or television ads, how is it going to reach the average person who wants to learn about guns and parts and that has the money to take your class?
Right.
Your particular reach, because YouTube throttles all brand new channels. And with a little throttle, like your chances of getting at 10,000 subscribers are far more challenging than it's ever been before.
I know. I see guys like, you have like the restoration videos where they just take like a rusty piece of scrap and they have 22 million. And then they have a guy that's, doing more technical things, and his video has been up for about something very specific. And it's like, he's got 600 views in 12 years, It's like,
but that person's not doing anything to advertise. And those people with 22 million views, the vast majority of them have paid for that. Whether it's through Google advertisement, directed advertising, or the video actually went viral. And they had a channel. They knew how to manipulate once the viral hit, they had a consulting company that helped them stick with it.
Right.
Because there are many channels out there that have 1 million subscribers, but when you go and look at their average video views, it's 1,000 views. How do you have 1 million subscribers and 1,000 views in 6 months of videos?
Bots and marketing.
No, that's because the way YouTube habit is. People subscribe to a channel but never look at it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thus, you have to battle throttling. So your marketing is going to include traveling to various shows and trade shows to get your name out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And then expanding your niche market.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get out too. So.
Yeah.
More. So. That's actually a good idea. Maybe I should check out some trade shows.
I mean,
just
they're
go visit one and just see what
go visit one.
see what the
Exactly.
scene is like, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
Find out what the cost of a booth is, and then think, all right, well, what is it going to look like for me?
Mhm. Yeah.
Do some research.
Yeah, I need to. Right on. Yeah, it's for sure, because it's like you know, you have all these ideas, and it's like, which one do you start first? You know, what's the most you know, risk reward? You know, because it's, you know, time. That's the hardest thing to get, and that's the, you know, that's the most valuable thing for me. It's like, where does time go?
Right. Where does the time go?
You know, I hate time.
Yeah.
But
So do you have any gunsmithing actual background?
I'm 8 years of hobbying is, I think I'm pretty good, but mostly like my main skill is like I could literally identify any part made from like 1900 to like 2008 2003. Like if I could see it, I know what it is, I know what it's worth, you know, I know how to market it and ship it out the door, but which took a long time to, like, you know, cultivate that, but
That's right. You're like a person who knows every baseball card from the 1930s on.
yeah. same thing, yeah, 100%.
Which is a unique skill. You just have to figure out. See, that's something that if you were at a gun show and somebody brought up to you, your knowledge alone would blow people's minds. Okay?
I think so, yeah.
And that would make lifelong friends because you just identified a part in their M1 Grand they never knew about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or some rare Italian pistol from the 50s.
Mhm.
Okay? And you just told them how to fix it. Okay?
Yeah.
That type of knowledge needs to be shown to people. It's not, you just can't hide it in your house anymore.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, you know. I gotta, you know, can't sit on it anymore. You know?
No, you can't. Can't sit on it anymore.
Yeah, and I feel it too, like, because that's like, you know, you can feel the pressure in your soul, like when you're not. I mean, that's probably why, part of the reason why I work so hard is because I feel like a deep, like it's like something with like gasoline in a can and the lid's about to pop. You know, it's like.
Sure, but you're not getting the feedback that your talent has, and that's why you feel like that.
Huh.
Like if this were the NFL draft, you'd be like second, third, and fourth in the picks with that type of skill. But you don't see it, you don't get the feedback for it, nor do you see the passion that others, oh my God, you can figure this shit out. You got to start getting that feedback.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, I'm almost there. I just, you know,
it's not almost there. You're already there. You're just holding yourself back.
That's true. Yeah.
Just holding yourself back.
You got to put yourself out there.
You got to put yourself out there, and you're gonna have to learn to
shameless promoting,
shameless self-promotion.
Yeah. You can do it.
Relic Gunworks on eBay and Instagram, you know, if you like. You know.
Yes.
Great content.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
I appreciate you guys a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. See you soon.
Bye, bro.
So next we have on is Julia.
I got to get going, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew. Thank you.
Much.
Good talking to you guys.
Take care.
See you soon, bro.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Julia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Where are you calling from?
Calling from Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm 47 hours into my first fast. So, like, my body is a bit stressed. I can feel things are shifting and I'm, like, detoxing and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And,
This is the first fast you've done? Did you say it's the first fast you've done?
It's the first, like, longer fast, yeah.
Okay. So you do short fasts, do you?
Yeah, like 16 hours fasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you do those?
For the last week, it's been like the whole week, but otherwise it's been floating. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what type of stuff do you do for your spiritual practice and journey?
Sorry?
What type of things do you do for your spiritual practice?
Well, I pray. I go out and be in nature a lot. I just took a gardening course for like a year. I wanted to get more in rhythm with nature and the cycles. And I've been doing the revocations, not every day or so, but back and forth for a couple of years. And I dance, I play, I don't know the name of this in English, but I play some music and sing. I paint. Yeah. I recently also been doing like trying to connect with my ancestors more. Yeah. So I think.
And what's your diet regularly like? Like,
My diet has been, it's like a AIP, like anti, how do you say in English, anti-inflammatory paleo, if you know what that is. Yeah. And but then it's been like shifting. Like I had this sugar thing going on back and forth in my life. But yeah, I love like grass-fed meat and vegetables, and yeah, I try to stay away from dairy, from wheat, from yeah. I think it's like that.
so when you say you like meat, how much meat are you actually eating each day?
I try to eat at least one meal a day. So like I don't know exactly how much, but like chicken fillet or yeah.
So when you straight away, as I'm reading you, you're not eating enough food.
Yeah.
But right now I'm fasting.
Yes, that's fine. But I'm talking about before.
Okay.
Not the fasting journey, which you're doing, but before, within your journey in the last few months, you've not actually been eating enough meat to sustain you, where you actually have your full energy about you. The one meal a day is going to be something where you're going to have to potentially bring 3 meals a day into yourself. In those 3 meals, you're going to have to start adding high fat and high protein.
Yeah, I'm
because
eating a lot of fat actually, and the last months I've been eating much more meat also.
Yes.
Have you always eaten meat? You've always eaten meat, yeah?
No, I was a vegetarian for many years, and before that, even vegan for a couple of months. Yeah.
How tall are you, Julia?
170 centimeters. Yeah.
I have to convert that. And how much do you weigh?
55 kilos.
Convert that as well. Okay, I'll have a look. You just, I mean, my first intuition is I wouldn't be fasting at the moment. I just feel that this is affecting you spiritually, this fasting. I think Dale thinks the same too, because I'm feeling there's not enough of your life force is able to come in, because it's almost like there's not enough for it to hang on to. And I'm not expressing this very well, but it's like you need to get more presence in you spiritually. And I think some of the reason it's not there is because of this fasting. And I'd really, it's fine, you're not having dairy and so on, but I still feel, the one meal a day isn't enough.
Only with the meat. I eat like, I felt like I've been eating too much, like all the time almost for I don't know, for a couple of months and back and forth. during the years. But with meat, I only eat once a day, more
Yeah,
or less.
but you eat protein. Do you eat protein your other meals? Do you have protein in your other meals? Are you getting your over 40 grams a day protein?
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm on the line there somewhere. But the last 7 months, I've been dealing with this very intense, aggressive entity, which I can constantly feel exactly where it is, and it likes to hang out like on the back of my tongue and different areas, and I can actually like see it like when it moves my clothes. And yeah, I've been fighting this for some time now, and it's been very, very hard. And that's why I'm doing the fast now, because I want to starve it, and I want to also starve my candida, which I have.
I'm just going to be brutally honest with you, that what you're doing now is making it worse.
Yeah.
You're basically, as I speak to you, there's an internal program pushing back at me as I'm talking, which isn't listening. And this is something you're going to have to be aware what's in you at the moment. It's like when I say words to you, there's always a comeback in I'd say the program or the defeating pattern within you. And that entity you've got is an ancestral entity. It's not a demon.
Okay.
It's not an attachment. It's not something what we can obviously clear out and completely get rid of it for you. It's going to be about you now actually taking your full power back by eating, bringing vitality back into your journey. Start eating at least 40 to 50 grams a day, counting. Going into the fasting is going to allow this thing to feed off you more. That's all it's doing. It's pulling you like strings. And it's about you realizing this is in your father's lineage. This goes back, I'd say, thousands of years in your father's lineage. This ancestral being has been going down and down and down. And the reason behind it is because your soul family has gone through the repetition mode, karmic journey all the time, and no one in the lineage has been able to break it. So you're going to have to put the big girl panties on and start saying, no, I'm going to have to actually eat properly because you're not eating right. And that's allowing this entity to have full eating basically your energy. And you have to start building yourself up, start bringing that shamanic self in, regularly doing the prayer, the contract revocations, the inner work where these internal programs are from being a vegan, realizing and everything's bad against me. I don't listen to people. You're going to have to start going through a full recall of what's going on in your reality, because the way to deal with this ancestral entity and break it is by you stepping into self-mastery. And you're not going to step into self-mastery until you eat, start building yourself, building your weight, and start exploring, sovereignty. And I'm so familiar with ancestral entities. I deal with them a lot. I actually have my kids. There's one within my ex-partner's lineage. So I'm very aware of how they work, and they are very smart. They're not just like any demons. They're very smart in how they blend in the realities. And you not eating and fasting is basically, it's like opening up a can of soup and saying, here you go.
That's so interesting, and I'm so thankful for your insights. It's just the thing that when I've been speaking to different people, they say so different things about this thing. This thing wanna like try to speak through me and tell me to paint and have courage to paint and all these things. And I've been thinking if it's a demon or if it's an ancestral thing. But you see, it's from my dad's side. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it's not a demon.
No.
It's ancestral, and it's even tried to project me in thinking it's something it's not, and that's what they like to do.
Yeah, because
they like to try and confuse other things.
Yeah,
it's program, isn't it, Dale? It's running this as a program, now, making you think that potentially you've been overeating or that you need to fast. See, I don't think so, because I think you need to get some more life force. So you need to be eating food with full-on life force in it.
Yeah.
So like as fresh as possible, organic, whatever. I'm sure you get real good quality food, but you need to be eating. You need to be eating it at the moment.
I've been feeling like my digestive system has been so chaotic, and also I feel like I have candida. And so I felt like I needed to do a reboot.
I think it's making it worse, darling. I think it's making it worse.
Yes.
Oh,
Stop
Yeah.
stop the detox, stop the candida, stop everything at the moment. Maybe in 6, 7, 8 month time, when you've actually restored your Kundalini by eating 50 grams a day, 40 grams, it's going to take you a month to start building your energy back. And it's going to hurt. Like, you're going to go through stages of not wanting to eat, all the programs of the lifetimes where you've starved to death, all of that karmic retribution shit coming through is going to be hard for you to break it. And you're gonna be like, oh shit, I fucking don't want to eat this, but you're gonna have to tell yourself to
but I
shut
love
up.
to
Give
eat,
yourself.
so that doesn't like.
There you go. So that might be absolutely fine for you then. Then great.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to start doing this and building it up. Very, very important.
And some sun. That's the other thing that's come to me. Get some sun energy.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, we don't have any sun at the moment. For
no,
like,
you know, in the UK, we haven't had much, but even just going outside and connecting to grandfather's sun, because he's still there, you know, and I like to absorb it through my palms and bring it in around me, and then pull it into your body. You need that light, that density of light coming in. And getting out in nature, all the normal things, but it's like yeah, it's just like I want to nourish you with life force, but only you can do that by dumping the program and replacing that with your, you know, your good, true and beautiful ancestral life force, not the shit ancestors.
No, exactly. But like I've been doing different sounds, like been sounding a lot, and I've noticed when I do the sound, my whole system start to do this. I don't know. I think it's some serpent kind of channeling. I don't know if that's also the ancestor which tries to be something else, or I don't know what's happening. I don't know if you can elucidate on that.
So one of the best things you can possibly do you know any have you learned Reiki before?
I've gone to like a 6 months healing course in crystals, in sound, in how do you say, these smells as well.
So your feet, there's something really going on in your feet, and there's a lot of like haunting energy through your feet, your tailbone, into the crown, and the actual back where the occiput is, back at the top of the back of the head. You're going to have to start learning psychic surgery, soul surgery, and start clearing it with light regularly. So this entity has to have so much energy to be able to feed from you, because it's like you're completely dim, and the little bit of light you get, it takes it out of you straight away. It knows you so well.
Exactly.
It's like it knows what patterns you're going to do, what programs are going to take over, your adrenals turn on from someone speaking, anything. It knows exactly how it has access. It's like it's allowing yourself to say, no, fuck you. Like, I'm having my life force back. I'm regularly cleaning myself, learning psychic surgery, and start bringing light within my body again. But for you, it's going to be about the long-term balance of yourself, because that's why it's defeating you. There's no groundedness and balance. What do you do for work? What do you do for your job?
So I took the gardening course to get more grounded, to get more connection with the nature and all of that. And now I've been taking a business course, and I'm starting a business, because during that that gardening course, I was at the farm, and I got really good friends with the whole family, and especially the son. And so we are going to start like a business together, working in nature, like permaculture and all sorts of everything which has to do with nature. But also, since, you know, my channel opened up with the light language 7 months ago, and started to commune with rocks, with trees, with Pachamama, I just felt like I was home so much, like for the first time, so like finally there. But then all these other things came through after a lot of cleaning and calibrations and all of that. So I want to merge, like doing healing sessions. I do like fascia massage, but also with the crystals and with the drum and all of that. But then I also later want to come in with the channeling. But yeah, it's the gardening and also the So right now I'm just 1 month until I'm gonna move out to the farm, actually into a caravan. So I'm gonna get closer to nature and to the.
So I'm going to be completely blunt and honest with you here. What you're saying now is completely defeating you, and a lot of what you're saying is coming from the internal programs of self-defeat. Because through now, you're going to have to start having regular income, having that journey of earning money, having the dreams aside. Because if you become a therapist now, you're going to get your ass kicked. Like when you start dealing with other people's frequency, with the state you're in, you're going to end up ill. You're going to end up in burnout, or you'll end up in a real deep recovery space. My advice to you would be finding a job. I do believe you going off in a caravan somewhere to a place is not going to be for your biggest growth, and that's just being honest with you. Going to a farm, living in a caravan, that type of life is going to create an ungroundedness within you. So for me personally, obviously it's your life, but for me, looking you and reading you, that's going to not be the best choice you could possibly do moving forward. What about you, Laura? What are you picking up?
I do agree. I mean, it all sounds great, but you've got to find a degree of being normal. Sounds boring, but just being good old grounded normal and get yourself back to better shape in terms of your health and in terms of your spiritual health. Because at the moment, you're great. You spoke about channeling. At the moment, you wouldn't know what really is coming through you, whether it's going to work for you or not. I would be worried about you doing something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying you can't do it in the future, but you really need to get this yourself solid, right? You've got to be more here, is what I'm feeling, because you're sort of out there because your body just is not liking what's happening to it. Okay, so it's like just get a bit more of a normal, grounded life. Yeah, as Dale says, and then look at spiritual stuff, but whatever comes in that feels good and feels great, make sure it's not duping you, but you can always feel, when it's right, when it's a heart-based entity, and you'll know anything like, the hissing or whatever. I would just get rid of that. Take no notice. There's nothing you want to investigate there. You want to focus on all that is good and true and beautiful. And you want, every time you can, anything like that comes in that feels not nice, dark, whatever you want to call it, just call in the galactic sun or the central sun, whatever. Call in that sun just to blast you and knock it all out and get some of your life force from there. But just work upon increasing your life force now, and then look at the other stuff later. You can do it, absolutely. But as Dale said, if you go into trying to be a therapist of any kind now, it is going to whip your backside. We don't want to see you. We want to see you strong, and you've got to get to that spiritually strong place as well as physically strong place.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm not thinking about doing that right now. It's like I want to prioritize the gardening, and we have done like a 3-year draft, which is looking positive. Like that will be my ground income if that one will go through. And now people are coming from different directions with like the same thing. Like they want to work with me, they want to work with trees, they want to work. I hear what you're saying, but I feel like I'm gonna get more grounded when I get out in nature and out from the city, and with this family, which is only living like 20 minutes from the city, so it's not far. And they're much more like-minded like me. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I'm thankful. But
that is what you. So it is like, in the words I'm getting from the Bear Lodge, is you're going to have to start going through a personality bleed, and that's about you realizing internally that you've got a lot of strong self-defeating personalities going on, like so strong that you don't actually realize they're a personality. They're not your right personality. There's so much crossover energy going on, and you being out thinking that speaking, going out and doing works with trees and stuff like that, it's great to do stuff like that, but you're going to have the flip side where there's the work there, the money's coming in, you're eating right, you're looking after yourself, you're finding a partner, all of the other human shit, and that's what you're going to have to master. It's the 3D shit.
Yeah.
And this is going to help you start eliminating this ancestral entity eventually when you start going onto that path. Because this being wants you to go away and go in the trees, live like a hippie, because that's going to make you ungrounded and easy food. And that's the unfortunate truth, guys, for a lot of people out there. Not saying everyone, but a lot of people go out and they live off grid and they go and do this, but they become the most unstable and unbalanced people. And they end up creating these personalities where you can't speak to them as humans anymore, because it's all that I need to be free, I need to be out in the forest, or I need to be doing this. I'm not like judging you at all. This is just from my own experience and reading what's going on. You're a great person. You've got a lot of power. But it's about you seeing that and aligning with the true self of you. And like I said, the personality bleed is going to be important, bleeding all of that other stuff and finding the real you again.
Yeah, and I do a lot of light baths, like many times a day. I call in light, I call in the sun, I call in the grandmother dragons, I call in, call in my team and all of that. But when I do the yoga, when I do the light baths, my whole body starts sticking. Like I can feel exactly where this negative energy is. So I can feel it go into my ears, up in my roots. And, it goes out and then comes back again and again and again. So I've been thinking, can someone help me with this? But at the same time, maybe I should do it by myself. I'm not sure, but yeah.
So first step, food, eating, that's going to be the first step for you. The next step is going to be about you journaling, finding out who you are, finding out when the internal destructive personality comes through compared to who you are as a soul, realizing when you form this, maybe going back and searching back for when you took this on. That's going to be the first step for you. The second step would be about you getting help from other teachers, getting sessions, getting trainings. You need help. You need someone to help you through this as well eventually. Not now, but you need someone to always check you in and call you out. It's so important. I have to do it. Laura, and they all call me out all the time because I need it. I need someone to call me out on my own shit. It's so important.
Yeah, like right now I'm coming into the runic path, like starting to work with the runes. That's what I right now feel drawn to, because I've tried so many things during these 7 months to try to get this thing out. And it's, like I said, very aggressive, and I can feel it's electric, like plasmic electric thing going around my body. And yeah. So
let's hope the runes tell you to eat.
Yeah.
You're going to do the runes, because sometimes it's
all that's going on.
Basic.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's something as basic as that, isn't it, Dale? It's something as basic as eating. Yeah.
But I've been feeling like, because I used to smoke cigarettes, then I stopped, and then I smoked weed, and then I stopped, and then now I've been eating too much. Like I feel like I've been eating too much. That's why I'm doing the fasting.
You're not. You're at the low end, because you're my height. But I'll tell you what, you weigh a lot less than me. And I'm not huge, but yeah, you really are at the low end of that weight wise on the chart. So that's what you need to focus on. Build yourself up. That's why I know everybody's normal is different. I do understand that, but we're just talking about getting a degree of groundedness before you go off and launch yourself in that, because it's a bit of a cut off the spiritual path out with the tree. It's not a cut off from nature. I understand that, but sometimes it can be a bit of a cut off from reality, a bit of a cut off from actual how we have to survive in the world.
Yeah. Like I know for sure that I have a lot of spiritual energy and I need to ground in. I know that for sure. But like I said, like I feel that coming out to nature, being around people who are you know, oh, like-minded, but not, up there way, just like-minded, and get closer to nature and learn from nature more. That will ground me. That's what I feel like. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yes, and you can do it. You can do it, and beginning to start eat salt baths would be very important for you. Even joining a gym and building muscle would be enhancedly great for you. Having a job, having income regularly coming in, then you can do the nature things on your day off or do whatever you need to do. Stability, 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 sister. And obviously, there's training courses we provide, the psychic surgery training, because you're going to have to start working on your feet, your tailbone, your crown, and start learning how to do energy clearing. That's going to be something important for you.
And please don't fast at the moment.
No.
Yes, don't fast.
Don't fast. That's what it's using.
Yes.
Don't.
Because you're going through all these release energies, and it's just like, yes, she's releasing again, or yeah.
Because that's like, if you can give me one advice, I'm like knocking myself automatically. I think it's the Kundalini, which is just showing me where to move, and my hands move. If I pick up a rock, it just goes to a place and start doing things to just take out things. Things are just happening like that. But I feel like I need, like you say, like a deeper release, like around here, back of my heart, in my feet.
Your Kundalini is not activated at all. Your Kundalini is not part of anything at the moment. You've not got enough energy for your Kundalini to build.
So
your Kundalini would kick the shit out of this entity. If your Kundalini activate, this entity wouldn't be able to come near you.
Because
it's that high frequency.
If I relax my body, I don't know if you can know what this is, but my body just starts to do things,
I think,
and that's you not having control and groundedness in your body. I'd say you're only in your body 20% of the day, maybe in 15%. You go out of your body most of the day. And that's going to be important for you moving forward, how to be in the body again. That's you coming out of your body. You're in, you're out, you're in and out, and so on. It's just a pattern going on in you. Okay. And what's in your body when you're not in it? What's in there? That's a question you've got to ask as well. Why you have to start saying, this is my body. I am allowing myself to be grounded. I'm bringing the prayer energy of myself. I call to my ancestors to be with me during this hardship, which I'm going to experience. But knowing through this hardship, I'm going to find illumination and clarity and the strength and will to live again. The strength and will to live day by day. So I'm not overwhelmed with myself. I'm eating, I'm nourishing. I'm allowing my energies to build. I'm having time off. I'm earning money, decent money. I've got a savings account. I've got a house. I've got bills to pay. I learn how to pay bills. All of that is going to be important for you instead of the light work of running away from everything and going out in the woods.
That's not what I would do.
yeah, that's what I mean. But it's just a metaphor of you walking away from living a grounded life.
Yeah.
Not, and it's something I've done before. I've done it where I've gone off into these kind of mind trails or time loops.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the best advice we can possibly give you is doing that moving forward.
And just one last question. Just when, like 7 months ago, when suddenly my light language started to come, it was just going for 3 days. My whole body started to do mudras and like this beautiful dance and all these things for like 3 days, almost nonstop. And after that, it was going on like almost every night. Just woke up and my body started to do things and move, and I started singing and like angelic things and all of these so beautiful things. But you say that this thing is a program which I feel like I can draw out energy and like direct it somewhere, but then it comes back. So that's not me who's doing that. What do you mean?
Yeah, so it's a whole pool of a few different things. It's not just one thing here.
Okay.
You've got the ancestral being, but then you've got such a strong program. Like it's really, it's like it owns a shit out of you, and that takes a hold of you and does stuff to your body. But when you were talking about the light language, that was just activating you in a good way. That was just a pure activation of the light language and the healing it did for you. But there's so many things to think about, and some of these programs you don't even realize are programs. We've had people go through the definite realization of their own programs, and it took them fucking ages to figure it out. We had a guy in combined therapy who I told him about his program all the time, and I was like, "You're not listening." Then he went in and came back out, and he's like, "Fucking hell, I've just seen this. I've finally seen what's defeating me."
Took 5
So
days.
searching, yes.
And what would you say is my like primal program, which is defeating me?
That ancestral being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's, well, the thing is, everything you're doing, it seems to me, it looks like everything you're doing spiritually, it's sort of hijacking, which is why I would sort of back down from the spiritual path, even runes and that for the moment. That's what I mean by you have to go back to being, you know, almost a non-spiritual person who understands the spirituality, but maybe isn't going too heavily down that route.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the moment with this ancestral being, you don't know who you're connecting to in the unseen at the moment when you're doing this spiritual stuff, right?
For sure,
You want to be sure. You want to feel confident who you're connecting to, rather than what the program or the ancestral being is wanting. It's got to be a sovereign connection for you, which is why I would just focus on everything we've said to do that first, and then start, then pick up your spiritual path again. Yeah, keep on with the prayers and stuff like that, but when you're dealing with runes, and which I've done as well, you've just got to feel more confident, maybe, that it, or make sure that that you're getting, this is the sovereign you who's dealing with it.
It's a specific rune which I got from a rune master who's been working with runes for 40 years, which is he has specifically given to me to get help with this ancestral energy. But yeah, I did a session with Matthew in September, I think, and since then I haven't opened up my channel or anything like that. Just been doing the prayers and my native tongue speaking and singing and all of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm completely with you on that. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I need to design my physical realm. Yeah
you do, that's it. Yeah, absolutely, get that sorted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then start to combine the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you'll get more clarity about your unseen world as well. Yeah.
So last thing before we say goodbye is, I'd say investigate the word patronize and look into that program and patronize and how they connect to each other.
Okay.
And that is a part of you which has the full strength over you. It's a patronizing aspect of the program, which pretends it's something, pretends you're doing all right, but it's full on patronizing. And this is going to be your biggest breakthrough of defeating that patronizing part of yourself. It's not no judgment. It's not, you're not a bad person. We all have the inner dickheads, the inner demons. So yeah, start looking up that word and exploring it and seeing parts of you which are allowing it to come through in the programs and so on. But yeah, thank you for calling in. Laura, is there anything else before we say goodbye?
Great teacher to a lot of people, darling.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
thank you so much, guys.
You're awesome. You're already awesome.
Sister.
You're going to be more awesome when you allow that life force back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get that life force back. Great.
Yeah,
wonderful.
sure.
Thanks.
Thank you for calling in, Julia.
Thank you. Thanks, darling.
Thank you.
So, guys, we're going to wrap it up today. We've gone over the show schedule. But for those in the waiting room now, for the next show, please come in again and we'll note who's here. So, Natasha, there's a few people still in. Okay. So if you come on to the next calling show, I do believe Adventures into Reality is the next one we're going to be doing. I believe that's going to be next month. So when you come on, make sure you come on the studio and we'll get you in first. If you just let us know that you're on the Talking Stick show and in the waiting room, we'll make sure you get a reading next time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Great show, Dale.
Wonderful show, Laura.
Thanks everybody in the chat for getting involved. That's really good. We love that. Thank you, everybody who came in. Sorry if we didn't get to speak to you, but yeah, as Dale said, next month. Thanks, everybody.
And so before we go, just if anybody would like to have a session with myself, I'm offering soul audit sessions where I can look into the deeper soul contracts and the parts of you which are stopping you from infinite freedom and infinite expression. Also, if you'd like to learn how to be an ancestral medium and start connecting and speaking to the ancestors as part of your regular journey, I'll be offering the workshop on March the 31st. So yeah, very low price as well for what it is. So head over to daletobin.com if you book onto the Ancestral Medium Workshop. Laura, how can people get a hold of you, sister?
Laura, feathers with the number 2 at gmail.com. If you'd like to go to your ancestral fire, I am an ancestral medium, so I can do that with you. And also, if you'd like to kickstart your prayer journey or you've got stuck, another of my specialities. Also combined is in York, the 6th to the 14th of June. So we will be back on Thursday with Andrew, and we will be back
Sacred
tomorrow.
Sexuality.
Yeah, but we'll be back tomorrow night with the Paranormal Rangers on mystical experiences, which is going to be a great show. That's 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST. And then, with Sacred Sexuality on Thursday with Andrew. So thanks, everybody. Please like and subscribe. It really does help us. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Dale.
Take care, everyone.